Hey guys! In this video, I'll be teaching you about classes in Minearchy. Before we get started, as I go through the classes, I'll be mentioning the skills it affects. These are skills provided by the popular MCMMO plugin. I will assume that you already know what they are, but I'll be linking some guides below in case you're interested. You can get your class by talking to the class selector NPC. There are many options available, and I'll be going through each one in detail. Classes will give you new abilities and buff specific skills. Once you picked your class, you can further ascend into 3 subclasses. These 3 subclasses are different for each class, but the options always appear in the middle top row. You must use XP to ascend. You can also switch classes at any time using XP, so I'm going to quickly switch from Hunter to Warrior. You can see that this middle lost its ascensions, and now I'm going to be a warrior, and we got the ascensions for the warrior. Now, I mentioned that to ascend or leave a class, you require XP. This is the XP from the bar you should very well be familiar with, and I have 199 of those because, yay, thank you owners! Your XP in class is shared across all servers on Minearchy, so feel free to grind out your XP anywhere. The warrior. Robustly experienced with melee weapons, disciplined and prepared to shrug off many blows, however, lacks any particular strengths, weaknesses, and quirks. Warrior class is reliable, but does not excel at anything in particular. As a warrior, you get 50% more XP for swords, axes, and acrobatics. You also have a chance to sometimes dodge incoming attacks. You can also sometimes counteract attacks with a blade. You have a chance to hit critical with an axe. As a warrior, you also ignore archery, herbalism, alchemy, taming, and unarmed. Warrior can ascend into Blade, Warlord, and Rascal. Blade gives you the highest XP boost for the sword skill. It fully unlocks the repair skill. New bleed ability on enemies and increased chance of counterattack, but it reduces the axe skill. Warlord has a 33% greater chance to activate passive abilities, which includes dodging. Equal XP gain for the main 3 skills, which is sword, axe, and acrobatics for warrior. Rascal gets the highest XP boost for axes and acrobatics. Rascals are better at dodging, rolling, and landing crits. However, it has a reduced sword skill. Merciless and relentless, the hunter is skilled with a bow like no other, but is lacking in melee combat, both due to the lack of melee weapon training and natural fragility. For this reason, the hunter employs a pack of loyal hounds ready to rip apart any prey that gets too bold. Hunters gain 50% more XP for archery, acrobatics, and taming. They also get the special ability to summon hounds temporarily if you shift-click while holding 4 bones. However, Hunter completely ignores swords, axes, alchemy, herbalism, and unarmed skills, which means you will not get any of the benefits or XP for them. As a hunter, you can ascend into 3 options: Houndmaster, Predator, and Skirmisher. Houndmaster improves your wolf ability by summoning stronger wolves. Predator increases survivability and damage on crits. Skirmisher gives you the highest XP boost for archery. It sacrifices your bow damage to give you the sword skill plus an XP boost. You can summon a horse, like the wolves, but using 4 apples, but you do lose out on the acrobatic skill. This hero specializes primarily in axe combat. The Berserk has a powerful skull splitter mode, which you activate by right-click and shifting. Berserk gets an XP boost in axe and acrobatics. It also has much faster cooldowns for active abilities, along with them being longer. They can sometimes dodge incoming attacks. However, Berserk doesn't accept the skills of archery, herbalism, alchemy, taming, unarmed, and swords, so you won't be able to level them up here. Berserker has 3 subclasses: Lunatic, Slayer, and Brute. Also, I like that it says I'm AFK. Anyway. It has the highest axe XP boost, has very fast cooldowns for longer lasting active abilities, and has better chances of axe passives, but you are too insane to practice acrobatics. Harley Quinn exists, and she's insane and can do acrobatics, so this is a lie. But anyway, Slayer has stronger axe skills, and, on crit, has lower cooldowns for active abilities. There's an even XP boost for axe and acrobatics. Brute has a higher chance of activating acrobatics and axe passive abilities, and only has an XP boost for axe. Never particularly skilled in direct confrontations, this hero fights with knowledge instead. Able to pick apart even the most sophisticated equipment and learn its secrets, as well as efficiently maintain their own tools, the Artificer is not to be underestimated. This class gets an XP boost for repairing, smelting, and salvaging. It is proficient with all the weapons, but doesn't get any special abilities in them. The skills absent are acrobatics, herbalism, alchemy, taming, and unarmed. Artificer has 3 ascensions: Artisan, Inventor, and Master Smith. Artisan gained the alchemy ability that was lost from Artificer, and gets double drops and treasures while mining. Peaceful active abilities last longer and have shorter cooldowns. Inventors are much better at smelting, repairing, and salvaging. They never lose enchantments when foraging. Master Smiths can use melee weapons to penetrate armor, can retrieve arrows, and practice acrobatics. Ancient tales speak of a monastic order hailing from Aphasia, the birthplace of humanity. They were founded when a group of mercenaries swore to never take up arms again, live off the land, and not defile the nature's beauty with mining or excavating. Their followers have learned to defend themselves and the innocent while abiding by this oath. Special training allows them to attain inhuman strength and agility. Monks are only skilled in unarmed fishing, herbalism, alchemy, and acrobatics. None of the other skills work for monks. However, they can deflect arrows and disarm opponents with their bare hands. This class can ascend into the Grieving One, Balanced One, and Apostate. Grieving One can't disarm, dodge, or deflect arrows, but they do have better unarmed skill, being able to penetrate armor and having an active rage mode. Balanced One gets a high XP boost to all monk abilities and an increased chance for all passive abilities. Apostate unlock archery, swords, and axes and gain the passives of these skills. Once part of a peaceful order, the Druid is now being summoned by the Fountain to fight the ever-growing threats to the lands of Minearchy. The Druid can harvest much more herbs than usual, and brew powerful tinctures. The Druid can also summon wolves to fight by their side. Their weapon of choice is an axe, and they can use a lesser version of the Berserker's Skull Splitter. Druids gain more XP for herbalism, taming, and alchemy. They are able to brew powerful potions. The Druids can spawn wolves in the same way as hunters. These wolves can throw enemies in the air, and they gain a magical shield that allow them to absorb magic damage as health. Druids ignore archery, swords, acrobatics, and unarmed skills. Druids can ascend into Beast, Zoolotrist, and Shaman. Beasts gain more XP boost for Druid skills and can dodge and critically strike. Zoolotrists can summon ocelots, and their wolves are now wolves. Vampiric wolves which bleed their prey and heal themselves. Shamans have improved alchemy with extra recipes. They can discover treasures while gathering herbs. Their herbalism passives have a greater chance to be activated. Does this hero have any dwarves among their ancestors? The history may never know, but the greed of the Prospector knows no equals. Indeed, this hero can sniff out gold and treasure practically anywhere at any time. To defend their riches, the Prospector can use a sword and a bow. The technique may be lacking, but they fight dirty. Prospector gets XP boosts from mining, herbalism, excavation, fishing, and woodcutting. They're proficient with blades and can inflict bleeding, but they can also use bows to daze other heroes. They can discover treasures while gathering resources. They ignore the unarmed alchemy, taming, and axe skills. Prospectors can ascend into Bandit, Hoarder, and Gatherer. Bandits get an increased XP boost for swords, archery, and acrobatics. Their attacks partially ignore armor and can daze. They can retrieve arrows and dodge. Hoarder gets XP boosts for excavation, smelting, and mining. They have higher activation chance for these abilities. They unlock the second smelt abilities and can salvage enchanted items. Gatherer gets an XP boost in herbalism, fishing, and woodcutting, and they have better odds at these skills. It is often said that a truly talented person is talented in all things, and nothing could be more true about the Polymath. This hero knows a great deal, yet ready to learn so much more. As such, no skill is gated off for them, and they enjoy powerful bonuses to learning speed. However, their knowledge of the Polymath is so expansive that sometimes they have trouble keeping it all in their head. Each time the Polymath dies, they forget some of what they have learned, and must recollect it through rigorous training. Polymath unlocks every single skill except Unarmed and gets 150% more XP in them. They lose out on most of the active and passive abilities associated with those skills. They also lose XP every time they die. Polymath ascends into Tactician, Prodigy, and Genius. Tacticians gain an extra 100% XP boost for skills and unlock some active abilities. It deals less damage but ignores armor. However, it loses out on acrobatics. Prodigy can counterattack with blades, get extra loot when gathering, retrieve arrows, deal crit strikes with an axe, salvage enchanted items, and gain 150% more XP. Genius unlocks every skill, gains 200% more XP for all skills, and doesn't lose out XP on death.